This video will serve as an overview to the other Find, Take, Teach training videos we are providing. It is important to understand that these training sessions are intended for those people who have full trees on Family Search and possess basic computer and family tree navigational skills. If you're not comfortable navigating in Family Search or using your computer in basic ways, you may want to brush up on those skills before you investigate these training videos. 3 years ago, Elder Anderson made a promise and a challenge to the youth. He challenged them to find as many names to take to the temple as the baptisms they do. Then a year later, he challenged them to find as many names to take to the temple as baptisms they do and teach others to do the same. This past February, Elder Rinland built on Elder Anderson's challenge and promise by saying, "Brothers and sisters, I promise you protection for you and your family as you take this challenge to find as many names to take to the temple as ordinances you perform in the temple and teach others to do the same. And if you accept this challenge, blessings will begin to flow to you and your family like the power of the river spoken of by Ezekiel. And the river will grow as you continue to perform this work and teach others to do the same. You'll find not only protection from the temptation and ills of this world, but you'll also find personal power, power to change, power to repent, power to learn, power to be sanctified, and power to turn the hearts of your family together and heal that which needs healing." We will be discussing the three aspects of Find, Take, Teach, and the way that we will approach them in a little more detail than a simplified version would provide. So, in terms of finding, there was an approach that we used to take, which was the idea of we would start with ourselves and we would work our way back and find the gaps in our family tree. The problem is that if we found something that was missing from our family tree, probably other people had tried to fill those gaps and had failed. As difficult as it is to do research in the 1700s and 1600s, this can be a very daunting task to a beginning genealogist. The new approach is to find somebody that was born around 1800 and turn your family tree upside down so that you are investigating their descendants. The beauty of this is that now you're working with people who were born in the later part of the 1800s, where records are robust and plentiful. This is a wonderful opportunity because if you don't know something about somebody, you can find it, and if you do know something about somebody, you can prove it. As a result, we're able to find many of our cousins who have not had temple ordinances performed for them and take them to the temple. This has changed family history work for members of the church. There are 4 basic ways that we want to teach you how to find ancestors who may need ordinances: the Descendancy View, Hope Chest, Pazilla.org, and findarecord.com. You might ask why we need to have more than one. And it's just like in your tools in your garage, you have more than one type of hammer or more than one type of screwdriver. You'll find that these various approaches are more effective in different circumstances. I work with a lot of people and am surprised how often I fail with one approach and succeed with another. So I appreciate the diversity. We're not encouraging you to regularly use all 4 of these. You'll find one that you find works very well for your family and you'll stick with that. But knowing about the others will be helpful at those times when you just seem to be floundering, or when you're helping somebody else and what usually works for you with your family doesn't seem to be working for them. I'll show you quickly the 4 different types of finding tools. The first one is the Descendancy View on Family Search. It's a wonderful way to find people who need ordinances. It's housed within Family Search. It provides these very helpful icons that teach you about improving the information on your family tree and lets you see people who need ordinances and they've been requested, and people who need ordinances but need more information before they can be requested. This is a nice method of finding people. The second one is called Family Search Hope Chest. It works within Family Search once you've added the extension to your computer. This is a very nice program because it allows you to be able to have a wider triangle of descendants from the person that you pick. Family Search Descendancy View is limited to 4 generations. Hope Chest, because a computer is searching your tree, is able to do as many generations as is necessary. You can go back into the 1600s and start from that person and work your way down, and as a result, the number of cousins that you'll be investigating will be greater by far than what you can investigate on the descendancy view. You'll also like this because it lays out the people that are found and the ordinances they need in such a clear and understandable way. Pazilla.org is a powerful tool. Elder Anderson used this 3 years ago when he introduced the concept of members using descendancy research to find cousins. This is a very wonderful program, both for the way that it portrays your family and also for the ability it gives you to find people who are missing from your family tree. This person might have been married and had descendants, but they're not entered in family tree. And so you're able to go and find people that are missing and add them to family tree. So the power of Pazilla over Descendancy View and Hope Chest is that it's not limited just to who is in Family Search, but helps you add people to Family Search. The final record or method that we'll show you about is called Find a Record. It's helpful on many levels, but the one that we're the most excited about teaching you is the fact that you can click the ordinances and then it will go and find people who are your ancestors that need ordinances. This is kind of nice because you don't have to go back and find somebody born around 1800 and then pivot off of them down to their descendants. This is the only program that lets you just start at you and it will go and find you ancestors who need ordinances. So those are the 4 different methods that we'll teach you about. The descendancy view has the benefit of being housed within Family Search. It does require some scrolling and searching, and it has a maximum of 4 generation search parameter. Hope Chest is an extension that needs to be added, but once you've added it, it works seamlessly with the program. It has the computer conduct the search rather than you individually trying to work your way through your tree. It has well-organized results and can definitely search a broader range of descendants more efficiently. Pazilla is an external site that uses your Family Search data. It has beautiful and useful charts. It's excellent for finding missing ancestors that are not in Family Search. And Find a Record is an external site that uses your Family Search data. The computer conducts the search. Many helpful research suggestions are available, and it identifies ancestors needing work based on criteria you set. The search can begin with you. So all 4 of these methods are effective, and you will find 1 or 2 that you particularly like, and hopefully as you help other people you'll find that knowing about the different resources will on different occasions empower you to assist others better than if you just knew about only one source of help. Let's talk about taking people to the temple. Once you've found individuals who appear to need temple ordinances, we want you to be aware that once we find a green temple, this may be the only time we'll spend with this ancestor. So we want to leave them better than we found them. Because we're searching in these obscure ways and getting lost in cousins that are removed from us in various levels, we may never come back to that individual. And so if we're spending time with them once in our lifetime, we want to spend a few minutes making sure that information we could have corrected or completed very easily is done, and that before we take them to the temple, they're as prepared and ready as they can be. We definitely want to avoid repeating ordinances that have been done, and we also want to avoid failing to do ordinances that could be done. You'll find as you go in and correct information on the person page of an individual that duplicates are easier to find. vague information makes it difficult for the computer to find a duplicate. And so you not only repeat ordinances that have already been done. Some people have been baptized or endowed 10 or 20 times because they have duplicate individuals in the family tree. But in addition, when you correct and complete information on them, you make it so that the next person who comes along and considers them can be confident that their individual is your individual and that the work does not need to be duplicated. This second part that was mentioned about failing to do ordinances that could be done means that as you review an individual and add children, those children are able to have their work done. As you add parents, you can seal that individual to their parents. As you add a spouse, you can seal the spouse. And so there's many ways that we can perform more ordinances if we'll just spend a little bit of time on the person page with an individual. So we assert or claim that your ancestor deserves 30 minutes of your time and they deserve to be treated as an individual. You may not have quite the quantity of people that you're taking to the temple by interviewing them and considering whether they truly need to go to the temple, but everybody that you do take to the temple will be precious to you, and you will be able to feel confident that they're truly needing to go to the temple and that they're ready to go to the temple. As we go through the training that we'll do, you need to realize our goals. We're not trying to create expert genealogists, we're just trying to empower novices. But with what the church has produced over the last few years, beginners can do effective family history work, and they don't need to have extensive training to be able to do so. The skills we will teach will be limited to using the person page, and they won't head toward difficult research. Our goal is to not make you a genealogist, just to make you an effective family historian who represents your ancestors well. Some worry that showing skills related to using the person page on Family Search will overwhelm people. My experience has been that it inspires and excites them. This is the key to creating users that return to the task. People find purpose and satisfaction in their service by getting to know their relatives as they try to improve information about them in a reasonable way. You will find as you gain the ability to correct and complete and analyze the person page, and as you give an interview to your ancestors before you take them to the temple, that the experience is so much more exciting. You'll feel yourself go from being a clerk who shuffles papers to being a detective who solves questions and is a very important player in the work that you're involved in. So, I keep mentioning this interview. The idea of interviewing your ancestors who may need ordinances means that before you print a card for them, you use the acronym card to look over their person page and make sure that they need the work that you've discovered. So the first one, based on the letter C, is you complete, correct, or prove vital information by finding and adding sources from record hints or from a partner site. Links are found on the right side of the person page, both for record hints and for partner sites. Then you also standardize dates and places. This isn't just changing NOV to November or MO to Missouri, United States, and making it look prettier. It's also changing it so that the computer is able to read it and then go out and find more records for you. Standardizing is an important practice that isn't that hard once you learn how to do it. The A stands for analyzing family members. Note the possible duplicate individuals and missing people. You look around at their family relationships and you see if they have two sets of parents or two husbands that have the exact same name and same birth date. Then you use record hints and partner sites to find sources that provide missing parents, missing spouses, missing children, and you add these individuals to the family. You can see how, even if you check for a duplicate of an individual, if you didn't analyze their family and notice that they have two sets of parents or two husbands that are the same person, you could take them to the temple and seal them to that second husband, but the ordinance is unnecessary because all you really needed to do was merge the two husbands, and the first husband had already been sealed to your individual. So you're avoiding duplication on a different level when you analyze the family. You're also discovering new opportunities to bring people to the temple. If you find that a couple has no children and you quickly find a census record that has 5 children listed for them and you add those 5 children, now you didn't just find one person who needed records, but because of your analyzation of the family, you're able to take 6 people to the temple. The next step is to review attached sources. That is simply looking down at the bottom of the page and noting the sources that are present. Is there information available on source documents that's not been added to the person's details? That's a really interesting process. There are oftentimes marriage records at the bottom already posted by somebody, and the marriage record doesn't just contain the marriage date, it also contains the birth date and the birthplace. It contains information about parents. And so as you did the step above of analyzing family members and you noticed that there were no parents, if you review the sources and find that there's a marriage record that has the parents listed on it, you can go up and add the parents onto the person page, and now you'll be able to seal this person to their parents as well as provide the 4 basic ordinances that we initially do. So that's an important step in reviewing the sources. Additionally, you can just ask yourself, are most of the details that are on the person page proved by sources? If you've got birth dates and death dates and marriage dates, do you have proof for each one of those? I'm not suggesting that it's required that you have proof. I'm merely saying that if you can give proof easily, how much better is that than bringing them to the temple with no proof of any of the information that's there? You will be surprised how easy it's going to be to find documents that verify birth dates and death dates and places, and you will feel so much better bringing them to the temple with that proof in place. Then the last thing that we do is check for duplicates. Duplicates need to be resolved. And then once you feel that your ancestors' information is as accurate and proven as you can achieve with reasonable effort and time, you click the possible duplicates in the tools box on the bottom right side of the person page, and if there are any duplicates, you'll merge them before you take them to the temple. That will then cause you to be able to either take them with confidence that they truly need their ordinances, or be able to move on to somebody else because their ordinances have already been performed. After you become proficient in finding and taking skills, you should continue the process with your personal family history work throughout your life and actively seek to assist others to engage in the work. When it comes to the teach aspect of Find, Take, Teach, we will show you how to use the Help Others feature to quicken and ensure success as you work with other people. This will be a very satisfying experience and will bring much good both for you and for your ward as you use techniques that will help people to succeed where they failed in the past. As we finish our training with you, our hope is that you will have mastered 10 basic Find, Take, Teach skills, that you will know how to find ancestors that may need ordinances using the Descendancy View, Hope Chest, Pazilla, and Find a Record, that you'll be able to edit information on the person page, that you'll be able to standardize dates and places and use record hints as well as the partner sites, that you'll be able to add sources to family tree, add individuals to family tree, and check for and merge duplicates. Then, after a person has been proven to be ready to receive ordinances, that you will know how to request and manage the ordinances that you have requested, and then use the Help Others feature to assist other people to learn the skills that you have mastered. Now we invite you to go and view the training videos that have been provided so that you can begin to experience the joy of doing family history work and finding people who need ordinances, taking them to the temple, and teaching others to do the same.